Hi, my name's Sonia Bevan from Dog+Charming, and this is my partner in crime, Zuri, the couch potato. I'm going to answer 3 questions that should make it easier or be helpful for people looking for a dog trainer. The first one is, what happens when your dog gets it right? When your dog gets it right, it means they're succeeding in a training task we've set. So basically, something good happens. I reinforce that behaviour with something the dog loves, and that could be food, praise, or playing a game. I often use food more than anything else because I find most dogs love that, and I get really good results. So we get quick results and we can move on quickly. 2 questions I often get asked about food are, won't it make my dog fat? And will I always have to use treats to get my dog to do something? The answer to those is no and no. What you do is you use food wisely and you incorporate it into training. So if you use 100 grams of food, you take 100 grams off the main meal. What we also do to prevent dogs becoming dependent on only working for treats is you phase them out as quickly as possible. So the dog doesn't always work for a treat and will work for praise or for sniff in the park or for going on the walk. The second question is, what happens when your dog gets it wrong? And that obviously means the dog doesn't succeed in the task we've set. Well, if the dog fails once, gets it wrong once, I just don't reinforce. If the dog gets it wrong twice in a row, again, I don't reinforce that behaviour, but I don't want the dog to fail 3 times. So I will set it up so the 3rd time the dog succeeds. I have an idea of usually getting 70 to 80% success rate when training. So that means 7 to 8 times out of 10, the dog is succeeding. If it's less than that, I will always change what we're doing so the dog does succeed. I don't like to ignore behaviours alone. So if the dog does something wrong, which is often what most people come to me for, it's usually saying, my dog does this and I don't like it, how do we stop it? And a good example is jumping and biting when a dog greets you. People go, I hate that, I want my dog to stop. So the first thing I do is go, right, what do you want your dog to do? And it could be, you know what, sit to greet me instead. So what we focus on is getting a really strong sit, making that pay off for the dog more than the jumping. Only then, once we've told the dog what we expect, would be when I ignore a behaviour. But I'm always watching for the dog to do it right. And I've set the dog up, so I probably only have to ignore once, and immediately the dog will do what I want. Woohoo! What we doing? What we doing? Good boy. Okay. So I'm not going to treat everyone. Come on, let's go. Come on. Woohoo! Gimme, gimme, gimme. Well done. You deserve that. All right. All right. But he didn't give up.
No.
And he didn't revert to jumping.
Yeah.
If I'd done that first off, he would have reverted to jumping straight away. So that's how we get rid of trees. And notice how I don't use any yelling if a dog gets it wrong. I don't use choker chains. I don't use shock collars. I don't hit dogs or kick dogs. I don't actually manhandle dogs to get them to do what I want. A lot of my training is hands off, and I actually motivate the dog by using the reinforcers that they love. I don't like using leash jerks either. I often like to teach a dog with a soft or loose lead. The last question is there any less invasive or aversive techniques to the ones I've described? I honestly don't think so, but I'm big on continuing education and professional development, so if there is something out there, I'm bound to find it. And a really important thing I'd like to mention is that I value liaising with other colleagues, other dog trainers and behaviour specialists, so that if I ever have a difficult situation, I've got people to talk to give me their ideas. And maybe even more important, I have no hesitation in referring to someone more specialised than me, say a vet behaviourist, if I feel the dog needs it. Because the welfare of the dog is the most important thing. What I would like to encourage you is, if you have any questions, ask them of your dog trainer. I know even during training, I love people asking me, why are we doing this, why don't we do that? You need to justify why you are doing something. And it's great. Most dog trainers love it, or should love it, when people ask questions. You're the advocate for your dog. And if you've come this far, I hope these questions have helped you, because what you're really looking for, I see ya, is someone to improve your relationship with your dog, not weaken it. Thanks.